Hey guys, welcome back to this video. I am really excited that my video last week about Native Instruments products brought a lot of people to my channel, gave me some exposure. Thank you to the new subscribers, and I look forward to making more videos. Yeah, it's a pretty exciting time for me. Excited to see where the channel goes. So thanks for tuning in. Today is a drum hack. And, you know, a lot of people don't like to talk about hacks because they're purists, but when you're new and you're a beginner and you're really trying to create, right? That's the idea. This is we want to create. You know, having some hacks is really important because it's what keeps you just motivated and just moving forward. At least for me, this has come in, this has been a big help for me through this process, just getting me out there and creating music. So if you have Maschine, you probably have expansion packs. Even if you just have the stock machines with Maschine, there are drum patterns that are pre-programmed into the expansion. And these drum patterns are really just a great thing to use to get yourself moving and making music. And you can either keep, work inside Maschine, keep those drums, but maybe you want to take the drum patterns and you want to add your own drums to them, and you want to sort of maneuver them some more, but within your DAW. Like, you want to get out of Maschine. And what I've been doing is finding, drum pattern that I like in Maschine for my project and then dragging it into my DAW. So right now I'm going to be using Studio One to show you how to do this, but I'm pretty sure that you can do this with any DAW. And maybe I haven't been in Ableton for a little while, but I can maybe try to go back into Ableton and do this as well in another video. So let's go through here and let's pick an expansion pack. You want to make sure that you have patterns highlighted below so that your patterns show up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for the new expansion pack, Infamous Flow. And you can see when I clicked on one of these drum kits, there's these patterns that are showing up over here, which is pretty cool. Some taking a little bit longer to load than others. So, okay, so my project that I have is 88 BPM. One of the things you really want to pay attention to is that the drum pattern you're picking is somewhere, I would say, within about 10 BPMs of where you're at. Otherwise, it's just not going to sound right. Maybe depending on the kit and the pattern, you can stretch it further than 10, but it's just something to pay attention to. So let's hear what this one sounds like. So there's several patterns, so we're going to go through and we're going to listen to each one and see what changes. All right, so I'm going to take this last one because it doesn't have a lot of the chords and additional like monarchs in here and some strings and keys and stuff. And I mean, I don't want all those extraneous types of melodies, or not melodies, stabs, or whatever you want to call them, going on, because I'm going to be creating my own project. All right, so let's take this and I'm going to show you how to pull it in. In Studio One, we have Impact. That's basically our drum sampler, whatever it is officially called. So that is how we're going to handle each one of these MIDI files, because that's what these are going to come out as. They're MIDI files. So I'm going to grab this here, grab the MIDI, and I'm going to drag it into my project. Although, let me see, because it looks like I don't have enough impact set up, so let's create some more of these. Oops, I think I just deleted it. Let's create some more so that we have enough in here that I can just drag Maschine in. Drag these MIDI patterns in, rather. All right. So that's easy enough, right? I was just able to drag these all in, and now I have everything, but I don't have any sounds because it just, right now, all I have is the MIDI. I just have the MIDI notes here for the pattern. So what I need to do is I need to, get some sounds going with that. if you're used to using Studio One, you're used to Impact. And basically with Impact, you're able to load all your drum beats here. So what I would go do, and again, there's an easier way to do this, but I don't know it because this is the way I've been doing it and it works. So I'm going to go to my files. I'm going to go to like another drum kit. Let's see what we want to go to. Maybe I'll go to a Sound Oracle drum kit. So what I have up here, I have my kick. So I'm going to pick out a kick. So I'll go through and listen to my kicks. Let's go with the Solid Solution kick. And I'm going to load that into Impact. And I loaded it on C1, but what you're going to see, and again, like this is where I think like maybe there's an easier way to do this and I'm just not aware of it, is over here, and of course my camera's in the way, right? Because that would be how things happen. Over here, you're going to see that this got loaded onto C3. I loaded the sound onto C1, but the term, like where this MIDI falls, like where it was in Maschine and then where I brought it in, it's on C3. So basically you need to make sure that you change the, change where it's at on the piano roll. So move it down to C1. Okay. And yeah, I could have taken this and like loaded it onto C3, but, I don't know. That just feels like a lot of work. Or maybe not. Like, you know what it is? There's just like a million ways that you can get to the same place, and people just start this pattern of doing it their way. And everyone else has something to say about, oh, we should have done this or we should have done that. So this is just my way. So if you leave a comment below, make sure it's constructive. And yeah. Okay, cool. So that was my kick. So then I can go pick out a snare. Let's listen to some snares. Go with this Atari snare. So again, I'm going to load it up onto C1, but I know that on my piano roll here, it's on C3. Hey, and this is really interesting because I'm doing this and I'm doing it pretty quickly to show you. But over here, you see like there's only one snare, and I don't really remember what the flipper snare was. But you know, maybe you don't need it. Maybe you don't want it. Maybe it doesn't fit into your drum pattern, so it's not important to you. This is the great thing about being able to take these and pull them into your DAW and then, I don't know, just put different sounds in and maneuver them. And I know somebody's going to say, well, you could do this in Maschine too, but sometimes it's just nice working in a linear DAW and taking that pattern out and putting it in a linear DAW and seeing it this way and being able to manipulate it this way. Going back to everybody has their way of doing things. So this is my drum hack of working in Studio One, but using Maschine patterns that are not inside Maschine while in Studio One, because you'll see once you get all these patterns, like, you know, if I get this pattern set up, I can just like get rid of Maschine. I don't need Maschine anymore, you know, which is often what I do. And that's what's really cool about this. So, okay, let's go pick a, actually, some of our snare. So let's pick a closed hi-hat. Whoops. Let's pick this, drag it in. So now you can see, actually, so this is the other important thing you have to remember. Like I still have Studio One open. I still have Maschine open. So when I, you know, if I go and play my project, I'm going to be hearing Maschine too. So that's going to like throw you off. So you definitely want to mute that. So we added a closed hi-hat. So here's another snare. There's 2 snares in this one, shaker. There's a few closed hi-hats. Yeah. But I think this is sounding good. This is just to give you an idea of how you can actually like use the pattern and create what you want to yourself. Say there's no reason I'm going to be using Maschine. I can take Maschine and I can actually just remove the whole instrument. So, and in Studio One sometimes everything crashes, but it didn't today, so that's exciting. There was an update to Studio One, which hopefully will help out a little bit, because as much as I'm loving the DAW, it crashes a lot, and I'm not used to that. You know, I miss stability. But yeah. So this just gives you an idea of how to hack some of the patterns in Maschine and use them in your own DAW. And if you're into seeing things linearly, I can't say that word, but in a linear manner, this is a really great way to get that done. So I hope this was helpful today, at least for some of the people that don't know how to potentially harness the patterns in the expansions. Maybe you don't know they exist, they're powerful, and you may want to use them in your projects. Yeah, if you have any questions, post them below, and I'm going to be trying to work through some of my other processes that I've been using, or want to call hacks to create songs, because I don't have a lot of time because of my day job. My profession that I'm in takes up a lot of my time, and I don't get to sit here and make music a lot. So when I do, it's really important that I'm not sitting there with beat block, because if I'm sitting there and I just don't know how to get started or where to go, it stinks. It feels like a huge time waste. So hopefully this helps some people who either don't have a lot of time, or you just feel like you're not going anywhere. I feel like my videos like these, if you've been producing music for years and you're really have a lot of experience, something like this, you're gonna poo-poo. I'm sure you are. But for people who are new and just want to make music and want to learn and want to get someplace, this is a great way to learn. Well, what goes into a drum pattern? What should I be thinking of adding? Maybe there's people just who have no idea that different patterns for you could do different patterns for hi-hats, or maybe I don't know, here's my shaker, this is what sounds good if I put it on these measures. And it's a good way to study music. So I don't think it should be poo-pooed, because for people who are just starting from zero and you know that you really want to learn but you don't have any basis, I think drum patterns can be really daunting, because maybe you don't even know where a snare is supposed to hit or where it usually hits. And it's important to learn, to get a feel for drums. I'm trying to get a feel for it still, because we listen to a lot of music, but it doesn't always translate into how it's going to look in a DAW. And I think pulling it into Studio One like this, working in a linear manner, and playing around with different sounds within the patterns can be really helpful. So that's all I have today. I'll be coming at you with some more videos. Excited to dig maybe a little bit deeper into how I'm using Maschine, how I'm using Studio One. So yeah, I'll see you again soon. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll have more for you soon. Thanks.